Hi, Corey McCoy from Plaza Fitness Performance, and we're up to our 10-minute workout preparation. So you've probably already taken a look at the out the door prep routine, which is under a minute. You also probably took a look at the 5-minute workout preparation. So the 5-minute workout preparation took us about 4 minutes, and the start of this 10-minute, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over this little next component, but this next component could also be added on for the minute that we kind of left on the 5-minute prep. So you can kind of move these around in any way you wish. Find what works for you. Remember, there's no rule to this stuff. Do what your body feels good with, as well as gets, your body gets a response from. So let's go over the 10-minute workout prep. And let's assume that we've already gone through the first 4 minutes, because that's going to be the reflexive performance resets. So we're going to assume that we're at the 4-minute mark. I'm going to put the clock on so you can kind of see this. But remember, we're going to add on 4 minutes, because that's roughly about the time it took us to go through all 12 spots on the reflexive performance resets, which is what basically our first priority will be to do, is to wake up those muscles to make sure they're alive. Because it doesn't make any sense to do dynamic warm-ups and all that type of stuff if nothing's really functioning neurally. So those wake-up drills are really, really helpful. All right, so let's go ahead and turn this clock on. We're going to start from 0. It's going to give us a 10-second countdown. And we're going to assume that I just went through all of the reflexive performance resets. So we're at the 4-minute mark, done with the performance resets. Now I'm going to go ahead and go to just like a few seconds of breath. Just belly breathing, relaxing. I know this is pretty hard to do for most of you who really want a crushing workout and focus on intensity, but for those of you who are smart, you'll know that breath is the foundation of movement. So once I feel like I've kind of relaxed my body, now I'm going to do some upper body segmental rolling. So some neural resets, super slow and controlled. So these are the upper body segmental rolls. I'm relaxing everything below my waist. This isn't necessarily an education on how to do this necessarily, but that's about a minute. And I've done some nice little core stuff to kind of activate the core. I could finish right there. This feels so good to me. I'm just going to do a little bit more. Oh my goodness. So this is just activating the core. I've done upper body segmental rolling. I've done lower body segmental rolling. Now I'm going to do a couple hard rolls. Just rolling one side, then rolling to the other. And then I'm going to do, after the rolling, I'm going to do some hip rocking, chest is proud. This is some rocking, getting into my hips. I'm going to add in some head nodding with it. Chin on the chest at the bottom, eyeballs on the top. I'm going to throw in some single leg rocking, chest is proud again, getting into the hips and breathing, relaxing. Good, other side. We're doing super well on time. We're 2 minutes into this, but remember, we're adding 4, so we're at 6 minutes on this prep. Could do some, I like little pigeon poses, but I like to make them dynamic. So I do this diagonal reach as far as I can. So I feel my torso as well as my front glute. Tabletop, just a few gluteal activations in a bird dog. Great stuff because my glutes are typically inhibited. So I've woken them up. Now I'm firing them. Maybe 4 or 5 reps each side. Could do a slight little crawl if you wanted to, leopard crawl. That's always good. Don't do too much of those, they might wear you out if you are running. And we're at about 7 minutes right now, so we're gonna add on a few more things. I've done reflexive performance resets. I've gone into the neural resets where I've done breath, some hip rocking, some rolling, some crawling, some head nods. Now I'm going to start to get into some myofascial prep. So we've got a few minutes here. So I'm going to start with the bottom first. I love to do myofascial prep from the bottom to the top. So I'll start with golf balls are my favorite. If your feet are a little too sensitive for that, you could use some other tools like tennis ball or even the stick. Once I do that, which feels amazing, I like to move them both with just passive range of motion as well as active. We're at 8 minutes right now. Since we only have a couple more minutes, I'm going to get to a myofascial prep tool that is a little bit more targeted. This is a stick, and I'm going to hit my quads here, my hamstrings and my calves, but doing the whole ground up concept, I could have done my calves, then worked my way up. My calves tend to be a little problematic, so I might spend a little extra time on them. I'm breathing, relaxing. Same thing, I'd switch over. We're at about the 9-minute mark. So this is probably going to wrap up this segment because we're running out of time. I'm trying to keep you guys under the 10-minute mark. You can do this for as long as you would like. There's no overdoing it necessarily. Again, not an education on myofascial prep, just showing you how to get in a couple of good things based upon the time that you have. So that's, 9.5 minutes. I'd probably shake it out a little bit. Maybe a couple little dynamic things. Whatever that may look like to you. But all in all, that's under 10 minutes. So that's our 10-minute workout preparation. We did the reflexive performance resets, all 12 of them. We got into some neural resets, all 5 of those. And we started getting into myofascial preparation. And that took us 9.5 minutes, 9 minutes, let's call it 9 minutes. We're not being incredibly precise, but it's definitely under 10. So I'm Corey from Plaza Fitness Performance, reminding you to stay smart, stay sharp, and stay strong.